One of the biggest scandals rocking hip-hop right now, Offset has officially broken his silence after Cardi B confirmed her pregnancy with NFL star Stefon Diggs. The world was already shocked when Cardi dropped the news with Gayle King, but Offset just couldn't hold back. He claimed their divorce isn't even finalized, throwing shade at Cardi for putting up with another man's baby while still legally tied to him. But wait, Cardi wasn't about to stay quiet. She clapped back instantly, and her words cut deep. Fans, you don't want to miss this explosive moment. Stay tuned, watch the clip, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button right now so you don't miss the rest of this messy story. Offset's words were sharp and bitter. He didn't hold back, suggesting Cardi B moved on too fast, calling her out for having Stefon's baby while their marriage paperwork wasn't even sealed. To some, Offset sounded like a heartbroken man watching the love of his life move on. To others, he sounded like a jealous ex scrambling for relevance. His statement lit up the internet like wildfire, sparking debates everywhere. Was Offset speaking the truth? Or was this just another attempt to insert himself back into Cardi's spotlight? Cardi's response? Brutal, unfiltered, and very Cardi B. She blasted Offset as a lazy ex-husband who can't even pay his kids' bills, yet somehow finds time to talk about her pregnancy. She told him point blank to get a job, keep his mouth shut, and stop trying to leech off her name. Cardi went further, telling Offset he should stop worrying about her baby number 4 with Stefon, and instead figure out how to fix his own mess. Fans went crazy. Some were cheering, saying, "That's our Cardi standing her ground," while others gasped, "Did she really just call him broke on the internet?" Now, here's where things get interesting. Offset has long been accused of being inconsistent with child support and leaving most of the responsibility to the mothers of his kids. Cardi calling him out publicly only added fuel to that narrative. An insider revealed to the press, Offset has been struggling financially, and that's part of why he's bitter. Cardi doesn't want anything to do with him anymore, but his pride won't let him walk away quietly. If that's true, then Offset's statement wasn't about love or heartbreak. It was about survival. Fans on social media immediately picked sides. Team Cardi praised her for shutting Offset down, pointing out that she's thriving with Stefon Diggs and focusing on her growing family. Team Offset, however, argued that Cardi should respect the fact that the divorce isn't finalized. One viral tweet read, "If Cardi is still married on paper, then Offset has every right to be upset. Imagine your wife having another man's baby before you sign the divorce papers." The debate grew so loud that it started trending worldwide. But here's the twist. Cardi claims Offset only brought up the divorce papers now because he wants spousal support. Yes, you heard that right. She accused him of gearing up to use the legal system to keep her money flowing into his pockets. Cardi told fans, "He's broke. He should find something else to talk about instead of my baby." That statement alone sent the internet spiraling into chaos. Fans couldn't believe she exposed Offset's financial situation so openly. Meanwhile, Stefon Diggs, the man at the center of all this, has remained surprisingly quiet. No tweets, no Instagram lives, no cryptic captions. Some say that silence speaks volumes, that he's letting Cardi handle her own battles. Others think Stefon is planning his own moment to clap back, especially since his name is being dragged into marital drama that has nothing to do with him. Either way, fans are watching his next move like hawks. The shade didn't stop there. Cardi reminded Offset in her response that she doesn't need him, that she's been raising her kids, building her empire, and now creating a new chapter with Stefon Diggs. She said she feels like a baby again with Stefon, emphasizing the love and care he gives her. The difference, she claims, is night and day compared to what she endured with Offset. That's a heavy blow to any man's ego, and you could almost hear Offset's pride shatter when those words hit the headlines. Fans began digging up old interviews and receipts, pointing out the cracks in Offset and Cardi's marriage long before Stefon entered the picture. Many argued that Offset has no moral high ground here. He was accused of infidelity countless times, leaving Cardi to defend herself and her marriage in public. So when he calls her out for moving on, some fans said it's pure hypocrisy. One fan wrote, Offset cheated 100 times, but Cardi's wrong for finding happiness? Please. And just when you thought the drama was done, it wasn't. Because Offset's silence didn't last long. Rumors started swirling that he was preparing to release his own statement, maybe even a diss track, targeting Cardi and Stefon directly. Could this messy divorce spill into the music world, creating one of the biggest celebrity rap feuds of the decade? Stick around, because the next twist is even wilder. After Cardi's first explosive clapback, fans thought Offset might retreat into silence. But nope, Offset wasn't done. He doubled down in a late-night Instagram Live, where he claimed that Cardi was rewriting history. "I was there for my kids. I always been there," he said, clearly frustrated. But here's the kicker. As soon as he said that, thousands of comments started rolling in calling him a liar, pulling up receipts of Cardi paying school fees, doctor visits, and even vacations for the kids. The internet wasn't buying Offset's version of the story. Offset then went after Stefon Diggs directly, without saying his name. He shaded NFL players, claiming they ain't built for real love, and that fame always fades faster than talent. Fans immediately knew who he was talking about, and the comments exploded. Some people were laughing, saying Offset was pressed. Others said this was a dangerous move, because if Stefon speaks up, Offset might not win this battle. Imagine a superstar athlete and a global rap icon versus one bitter ex. It's not looking good for Offset. But Cardi wasn't finished either. She went back online the next day and dropped one of the coldest lines of the year. She said, "Offset shouldn't be worried about Stefon. He should be worried about the IRS. Them people don't play, and I'm not paying your bills for you anymore." Phew. Fans went wild. That comment wasn't just shade. It was a bombshell. If Cardi is hinting that Offset owes money to the IRS, then this feud just turned into a financial scandal too. Insiders close to Cardi confirmed that she's been holding back for months, trying to keep the peace. But Offset's comments pushed her to the edge. One insider told reporters, "Cardi never wanted things to get ugly in public, but she's tired of being painted as the bad guy when she's the one holding everything together." The insider added that Cardi is completely focused on her new chapter with Stefon and refuses to let Offset drag her down. Meanwhile, Offset's fans tried to defend him. They pointed out that Cardi might be exaggerating his financial issues for clout. One viral post read, "Cardi is a master of making Offset look bad. Don't believe everything she says. He's a Grammy-winning rapper too." But even those defenders had a hard time explaining why Offset was so quick to attack Cardi's pregnancy news, instead of simply congratulating her and moving on. And then came the wildest twist yet. Rumors started swirling that Offset was preparing to leak private conversations between him and Cardi. Allegedly, Offset has voice notes and text messages that he believes will make Cardi look like the villain in this situation. But here's the danger. If those leaks happen, Offset could open himself up to legal action, and Cardi's team of lawyers aren't exactly people you want to mess with. Fans speculated about what kind of dirt Offset could even have on Cardi. Some said he might reveal private arguments, while others joked that it's probably just old texts begging her for another chance. One fan wrote, "Offset acting like he got receipts, but we all know those receipts are just him saying, 'Take me back, I'll change.'" The memes were brutal, but they show how little credibility Offset has left with the general public. Through it all, Stefon Diggs has still remained quiet. But Cardi's supporters are saying that's exactly why she's happier now. One fan commented, "Stefon doesn't need to fight her battles. He just supports her in the background, and that's what a real man does." That comparison between Stefon's quiet strength and Offset's loud, messy drama has made Offset look even worse in the public eye. Cardi, for her part, hasn't slowed down at all. She's been smiling in new photos, showing off her baby glow, and making it clear she's unbothered. Her message is loud and clear: she's moved on, she's in love, and no bitter ex can ruin her happiness. But at the same time, fans know Cardi. When she says she's done, she usually means she's just getting started. So everyone's waiting to see if she drops another bombshell on Offset's head. And just when you think Offset might finally let it go, he doesn't. Reports started surfacing that he's planning to address the situation in his music, hinting at a diss track aimed not just at Cardi, but also Stefon Diggs. If that happens, we're not just talking about messy Instagram lives anymore. We're talking about a rap beef that could rival some of the biggest in hip-hop history. Stick around because Batch 3 is where this scandal starts heating up even more. Offset's rumored diss track sent shockwaves across the internet. Fans were already buzzing about the messy war of words online, but music? That's a whole different battlefield. If Offset really puts his pain and anger into a song, the drama won't just be on social media, it'll be etched into hip-hop history. And let's be honest, rap beefs have destroyed careers before. Could Offset be risking everything by turning this into music? Industry insiders began whispering that Offset was in the studio late at night, working with producers known for creating raw, hard-hitting tracks. Some claimed the lyrics take aim at Cardi's new relationship, painting Stefon Diggs as a rebound and Cardi as someone who traded love for clout. The rumors alone had people on edge, because if Offset drops this song, Cardi will almost certainly respond. And Cardi doesn't hold back in music. Remember Be Careful? That song was practically a warning shot, and it became a classic. But before Offset's supposed diss track could even surface, Cardi threw gasoline on the fire. She posted a cryptic message on X saying, "Don't poke a sleeping giant. I rap better than some of y'all husbands, and I got Grammys to prove it." That wasn't just a clapback, it was a warning. Cardi has the power of her pen, her fan base, and her platform. If Offset wants a war, Cardi is more than capable of giving him one, and history proves she can come out on top. Fans began to take sides. Team Cardi started trending, with hashtags flooding timelines like "Narn Cardi wins" and "Nar Offset is pressed." Meanwhile, Offset's loyal supporters tried to push back with "Why stand with Offset," but the numbers didn't even compare. Cardi's fan base is massive, vocal, and relentless. They were already preparing for her next move, practically begging her to turn this scandal into a hit record. Behind the scenes, things were reportedly much darker. Sources close to Offset revealed that he feels betrayed on multiple levels. Not only did Cardi move on with another man before their divorce was finalized, but she did it with a high-profile NFL star, making the situation even more humiliating for him. According to one insider, Offset believes Cardi is deliberately trying to make him look weak. Whether that's true or not, the public perception is clear. Offset is losing control of the narrative. And then, in a twist nobody saw coming, lawyers allegedly got involved. Rumors swirled that Offset was exploring legal action against Cardi for defamation, citing her comments about him being broke and owing the IRS. But here's the problem. If Offset takes this fight to court, everything becomes public record. Financial documents, private details, the works. And Cardi's team of attorneys is known for being ruthless. If Offset isn't careful, trying to sue Cardi could expose him more than it protects him. Stefon Diggs once again kept quiet, but his silence spoke volumes. Paparazzi spotted him holding hands with Cardi outside a private event, smiling like nothing in the world could shake them. To fans, that was the ultimate statement. Cardi wasn't just brushing off the drama, she was thriving in spite of it. Her body language said everything. She's happy, secure, and moving forward. Offset, on the other hand, seemed trapped in the past. As the narrative unfolded, one major question kept popping up. Why now? Why is Offset suddenly so vocal when Cardi's pregnancy news should have been a moment of celebration? Analysts pointed out that this could be tied to Offset's career struggles. His solo projects haven't matched the success of Cardi's chart toppers, and some believe his bitterness stems from being overshadowed by her stardom. It's not just about Stefon, not just about the baby. It's about Offset feeling left behind. Fans started to speculate about how this battle could reshape both of their careers. If Offset leans into the bitterness too much, he risks alienating listeners who just want music, not drama. Cardi, on the other hand, could flip this entire scandal into fuel for her next album, turning pain into art and potentially another Grammy. The stakes are higher than ever, and neither side seems ready to back down. And just when it seemed like things couldn't get any messier, rumors began circulating that a certain hip-hop legend had reached out to Cardi privately, offering advice on how to handle Offset's attacks. Who was it? Some say it was Beyoncé. Others claim it was Nicki Minaj, which would be shocking given their past. The truth? We don't know yet. But if a major figure is stepping into this storm, that means the situation has officially gone beyond messy Instagram rants. It's now headline news at the highest level. The whispers of Offset plotting a full-scale comeback began to spread like wildfire. Word on the street was that Offset had been calling in favors, reaching out to fellow rappers, and even trying to reconnect with big-name producers who once helped Migos dominate the charts. Some insiders say he's desperate to prove that he's not just Cardi B's ex, not just Stefon Diggs' rival, but an artist who can stand on his own. And when someone feels backed into a corner, they can become the most dangerous version of themselves. But here's the twist. Cardi wasn't worried. Instead of responding with anger, she doubled down on positivity. At a recent charity event, she glowed in a fitted dress showing off her growing baby bump, while Stefon Diggs stood proudly by her side. Fans online called it the ultimate checkmate. Why? Because while Offset is ranting on social media and allegedly scheming in studios, Cardi is out in the real world, thriving, laughing, and building her future. It's the kind of visual that shuts down an entire argument without her having to say a word. Still, Offset's frustration didn't die down. One late night, he posted a cryptic IG story, just a black screen with the words, "They'll regret it." That was all it took for fans to lose their minds. Was he threatening Cardi? Was it about his career? Or was it directed at Stefon Diggs? Nobody knew for sure, but the timing made it clear. Offset wasn't done talking. Behind the scenes, a very different story was unfolding. Industry reporters claimed that Offset's team had urged him to back down, reminding him that any reckless behavior could jeopardize future business deals. But Offset, still emotional, wasn't listening. He reportedly told his inner circle that Cardi humiliated him on the world stage and that he couldn't just sit quietly. The pain was personal and the anger was raw. Meanwhile, Cardi gave fans yet another twist to talk about. During a live stream, she casually mentioned how Stefon calls her multiple times a day just to check if she's eaten. That simple detail, so sweet, so nurturing, blew up online. Fans started comparing the two men in her life. On one side, Offset, ranting about lawyers and divorce papers. On the other, Stefon, caring for her like she's the most important woman in the world. The contrast was brutal, and fans weren't shy about pointing it out. By this point, the internet had turned the saga into a circus. Memes exploded. One viral tweet read, "Offset fighting imaginary battles while Stefon Diggs just asking Cardi if she had breakfast." Another said, "Offset lost a wife, a baby, and the internet in 1 week." These jabs weren't just jokes. They were shaping the public perception of who's winning this war. And right now, Offset was losing badly. As things got hotter, Offset's name started trending alongside the words, "child support." Reports surfaced claiming that multiple mothers of his children were frustrated with late payments, and Cardi's comments about him being broke suddenly didn't feel like shade. They felt like facts. If the rumors are true, Offset's financial struggles could be worse than anyone realized. That would explain why he's so pressed about Cardi moving on. He's fighting not just for relevance, but for survival. Cardi's camp stayed quiet on those rumors, letting the internet do the talking. But silence can be louder than words, and in this case, it was deafening. Fans took her silence as confirmation, dragging Offset harder and harder. The man who once topped charts with Migos was now being reduced to punchlines and gossip fodder, and the pressure was mounting. Stefon Diggs remained the calm in the storm. Cameras caught him at practice, unfazed by the headlines, laser-focused on football. That, too, was a message. While Offset spirals, Stefon is steady, professional, and present for Cardi. To fans, it was proof that Cardi didn't just pick a man, she picked stability. And that, more than anything, is what she had been missing. And just when the drama seemed ready to die down, Offset dropped a bombshell in a late-night interview. With a mix of bitterness and vulnerability, he claimed, "I'll always love Cardi, but she broke my heart. She moved on too fast, and the world is laughing at me." For the first time, Offset admitted the pain behind the anger. But was it too little? Too late? Because by then, Cardi had already made it clear. Her future is with Stefon, her baby, and her happiness. Offset? He's just part of the past. The tension reached its boiling point when Offset went live on Instagram in the early hours of the morning. Slouched in his chair, voice slurred, he ranted about loyalty, betrayal, and love gone wrong. At one point, he shouted, "That's still my wife! That's still my family!" Fans were stunned. Was this a confession of lingering love, or a desperate cry from a man who feels his world slipping away? Whatever it was raw, it was unfiltered, and it made the internet stop in its tracks. But Cardi B wasn't about to let that slide. Hours later, she appeared at a press event glowing in a sleek maternity gown, Stefon Diggs by her side. And when reporters asked her about Offset's meltdown, she smiled and delivered the line that instantly became iconic. "I don't respond to late-night rants from men who can't even pay their kids' bills. I'm busy building my future." That one sentence shut down the entire narrative, flipped the spotlight back on her, and reminded everyone who really controls this story. Offset's camp scrambled to do damage control. They released a statement insisting he was emotional but misunderstood. Yet fans weren't buying it. The damage had already been done, and Cardi's words were etched into the internet forever. Screenshots of her clapbacks spread like wildfire, and Offset's name became synonymous with regret. Meanwhile, Stefon Diggs elevated the saga with one simple gesture. During his next game, after scoring a touchdown, he cradled the ball in his arms and mouthed the word baby. The cameras caught it, the crowd erupted, and the internet crowned him Stepdad of the Year before Cardi even officially gave birth. That wasn't just a touchdown. It was a public declaration of love and commitment, and it made Offset's late-night rant look even smaller in comparison. Still, Offset made one final play. In a magazine interview, he tried to rewrite the narrative, saying, "At the end of the day, that's still the mother of my kids. I'll always respect her." But the world had already moved on. By then, the headlines weren't about Offset. They were about Cardi and Stefon preparing to welcome their baby, celebrating new beginnings, and leaving the past where it belongs. Cardi, always one for dramatic timing, ended the week with a bombshell of her own. She dropped a teaser clip of her new music video featuring her baby bump, Stefon Diggs, and a message splashed across the screen. New chapter, new life, new legacy. Fans went insane. The clip wasn't just art, it was a warning shot. Cardi was reminding the industry that she's not just surviving the drama, she's thriving and turning her pain into power. Offset? He watched from the sidelines. Some say he cried, others say he cursed. But one thing was clear, he no longer had the power to control the story. Cardi B had taken every insult, every jab, every headline, and flipped it into a narrative of strength. And Stefon Diggs, cool and steady, stood beside her as the symbol of everything she had been missing. The internet sealed the verdict. Offset may have broken his silence, but Cardi broke the chains. She was free, happy, and building something bigger than him, bigger than the gossip, bigger than the pain. For once, the story wasn't about drama. It was about victory. And so, the saga ends not with Offset's bitterness, but with Cardi's joy. A baby on the way, a love she trusts, and a future brighter than ever. Offset's silence may have been broken, but Cardi's voice is the one the world will remember. So what do you think? Is Offset really heartbroken? Or is this all part of a bigger plan to claw his way back into relevance? And will Cardi and Stefon's love story go down as one of the most shocking celebrity twists of the year? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, because this story is far from over. And you know we'll be right here to bring you the next chapter.